Hello guys, this is a new cast. It'd be my first one actually. I just figured I would give it a try and see how I liked it. Um, this is a map gen 4v4 with Hot Soup being me, Zeo, Donko, and finally but not least Mali Libby, I believe it's pronounced. On the other team you got Mukola, Dead Six, Failure, and Carabin. It's all over 1,000 rating. I guess the lowest rating coming in would be Mali over here. But I don't think I don't think that's his actual rating. He's probably more like 1,200, 1,300. I'm not that far ahead of him, to be honest with you. I guess we'd be starting out with three land, two of them holding this side where one basically has to defend against two. That's going to be pretty rough on Mukola. And then you got kind of the opposite situation over here with me. I believe what my strategy was going to be is I was going to try to go gun right away, but I don't really recall. This was a few days ago. I just remember it being a very good cast, so I wanted to share it with you guys. As far as reclaim goes on the map, there's a lot of reclaims. So 9,580 across the map, so probably I don't know around 4,500 on each side. Quite a few mexes too, so mass shouldn't be any problem later on, unless you're really trying to pump out some experimentals super quick. But even then, once you get them all T3, it should be fine. I guess you get a little bit of early scout play coming out from Carabin. I don't think I really noticed that until I kind of just walked up on it, so it didn't really achieve much, fortunately for me. Looks like Donko and Mali are sending their comms out mid to get some early land factories in the middle. I would assume for reclaim, just to get over there, because he isn't actually building any land factories back by his base, which is different because I believe that's what I generally do. I'm a big believer in if it's like a 10 by 10 map, always building a land factories closer to the spawn, because even if they push up all the way to this point, then you still have land factories pumping out units and you still have defense, rather than if they push it to that point, kill all your land factories, then you have nothing to stop them. So it just kind of acts as a buffer if they're starting to push in. As you can see, I'm going super early gun at 2 minutes 51 seconds. I was probably annoying the shit out of Donko and Zeo, asking for E, as I usually do, because I'm an E whore. Well, yeah, there you go. Now I'm starting to ask everyone for it. Actually surprising, I don't see Mukola or Dead Six pushing their comms up toward mid, like you see Donko and Mali doing. Even Failure is a little bit back. As you can see, I think Carabin's about to find himself in some trouble, because my gun is almost finished. I believe that's range I started with. I think he starts to come over here, put a little pressure on me before realizing that I already got an upgrade on my gun. This was a bit of a mishap over here. I did not realize this was happening until it was already a little bit late. As you can see, Zeo's coming up to back me up because he thought I was going to die right away. What a friend. Early air scouting coming from Failure. I guess Failure is his name. You can see I'm obviously happy that I got range, and I'm probably going to make them back up. Zeo getting an early bomber out. Well, I guess not too early, but early enough that he can prevent this with Zui from killing the rest of my base, because I just did not realize he was there. I believe I didn't have any radar coverage.
Commander under attack.
Oh no, I guess I did. I was just blind. So you can see Zeo and I start to pressure Carabin here. This could actually be where he dies. I don't really recall. Just a quick overview of everything else. Looks like they don't really have any units to support them. Maybe a couple coming from Carabin, but I don't think it's going to be enough for both me and Zeo. Pushing up Carabin. Quickly whittling away his HP. I don't think there's any way he's going to get away from that range. You got quite a bit. Yeah, I don't think there's any way he's going to get away from that. And on top of that, we have a bomber as well if we need to. Carabin is now dead. I believe that splash did hit Zeo and I, but we're both pretty good health-wise. Looks like Mali's doing a little bit of a push, trying to get rid of some of this early aggression coming from Mukola. It does look like there is actually a little ways down from this rocked ledge area, almost straight into Mukola's base, or excuse me, Dead Six's base. Something that he'll definitely have to keep in mind because that could be an issue. Looks like Danko sent some units down here. I'm not really sure how that happened, but that was definitely Danko's units. Got a nice little radar in the middle by Zeo. Probably what I should have been doing. I'm sure I didn't even have one set up. Just rely on him too much. I believe I still wanted to keep pushing and have some more early aggression. I didn't realize Failer is actually upgrading gun right now, speed and range, which could be an issue if I keep pushing into that, as I don't really have any units until now pouring out of my factories. Danko is getting a decent amount of T1 units up, upgrading to T2 right away, around the 6-minute mark. It's not too bad. We probably could have helped him and assisted him to T2 earlier if we would have gave him E. But he is not an E-whore like me. He likes to have his own. Let's see. So I just started doing this where they start a T2 upgrade on all of your mexes, and then you kind of just take the pause off whichever one you're upgrading at the time. And that way, even if you forget to upgrade your mexes, you still have some engineers going around working on mexes with a little bit of pause. So at least you still have the build power of the engineers. That's a really good thing that Jail's doing. And Danko. You see, I might have bit up a little bit more than I could shoot right here. I said he was an upgrade. I assumed he was close to finishing, so that's why I started backing out. My HP is full, but I was aware that we didn't really have much for air cover over me. And I believe around now, Zeo called out that there was a gunship coming out, which I knew was a bad deal for me. I really should have just started walking back already, but it is what it is. Looks like Mukola is getting a nice little fire base set up front. It's going to pressure Mali and Danko to set their lines a little farther back, I would imagine. Dead Six is just getting a few, I guess not redundant, but a few extra T1 units to help out Mukola if he needs it, since it is a 2v1 over there. As you can see, I am still whittling away at T1 units, fully unaware of T2 gunships in the back there. Well, I guess I was aware, but maybe I was just not thinking about it too much. I figured I would bring my units down here, which did contain some T1 anti-air, to go ahead and get rid of some of that expansion, just to put a little bit of hurt on Failer. Around now, I knew I was a little bit screwed. I started spamming up T1 anti-air. The rest of the map is pretty quiet at the moment. Looks like he has 3 Voltus attacking my comm. I started spamming up 1. I think I got 2 T1 AA down. Zeo sending what interceptors he has, but at the time I think he's rushing T3 air. As you can see, it's just a combination between the T1 bombers sniping my anti-air earlier on and these Voltus. I don't think there's any way that I could have made it out of the situation other than me moving back farther early on. Down to just 1 Voltu, 3,800 HP, still looking pretty healthy, all things considered. We have Dead Six and Failer pushing up on me. Looks like Failer has a gun. I don't know if Dead Six has a gun, but I believe he does. Still drawing out the battle lines up north. Looks like Red's going to be doing a little bit of a push, trying to push up to Mali's core land factories. Another Voltu coming to my comm. Just one, so shouldn't be too big of a deal. Building a little bit of a seeker, I guess, T1 anti-air. Did not realize that there's 2 comms here. Still pushing up on me. As soon as those catch me, there's no way for me to escape because they're going to just go walking flying away. Even though I do have double guns, there's no way if I can do that. And that is something. So at this point, I assumed I ruined it for my team. Zeo's going to have a hard time trying to fill up this gap, especially with this amount of land spam coming from Failer and Dead. Considering that Zeo really has 0 land force ready to stop him. But we'll see how that goes. It's starting to get quite a few interceptors up. I believe he was trying to get those up to come save me. Just not enough time really for him to do it. Let's see how he's coming along with air. It's T2 HQ. Doesn't look like he's upgraded to T3 just quite yet. He probably needs to stop up this gap over here before he even attempts that. T2 transport for something. I wonder what that's for. Maybe to get his comm out of there, or potentially mine at the time. How are we looking at Purple's base? Looks like he's going from T2 HQ to T3 HQ. Looks like it's going pretty slow at the moment, though. I wonder how his... Yeah, minus 84 mass. That will definitely do it. You probably want to get at least 60, 70 mass before going T3, if at all possible, but I understand his urgency to get to T3. He probably feels like he can close this up if he gets the strat out early. Not really sure. Have to ask. Looks like Mally is holding really well over here for the amount of units. Almost, I feel like he could almost push in and wipe this out, but potentially not. 3 T2 tickle guns with another one in the back. I think he can still push through that, but hindsight's 20/20. Or potentially they might send all their units there just to die, and then you have nothing stopping this. So. Looks like Donko's having to shift his units down to assist Zeo as he sees all these land units coming up. Looks like Zeo threw up a quick 2 on PD, but it's quickly getting rid of by some Medusas sent by Failure. Let's check out Failure's base. A lot of land spam coming out of there. Wondering, I don't see any T2 P-gens, but he might be riding on the coattails of Dead 6's energy. But even then he doesn't have a T2 P-gen, so let's check. No, his energy is looking fine, doing a pretty decent job at balancing his economy as well. Nicola, well, he's just turtling, he's just digging in and turtling. Really, this is the biggest problem down here. Zeo's starting to get gunships out to start counteracting all this T1 land spam, Mantis. But there are some Sky Slimers in there. I believe I just saw one. Maybe not. Maybe he killed it already. But that Interceptor Swarm will definitely put an end to that T2 gunship. Looks like Failure moved his comm back. Did not want a chance getting air sniped up front for his team. Like somebody I know, myself. Looks like there are some TAC missiles going after the mass extractors of Mally. I'm sure he's not appreciating that at the moment. Looks like he is spamming in some TNT to deal with that. Looks like at the moment he does have enough. Donko, on the other hand, does not have enough TNT in his base. Looks like he might be energy stalling as well. Very close to energy stalling. Probably getting some overflow from the other players. Another big push getting ready down south. Looks like not quite yet. Looks like he wants to get just enough units there to be able to push through there without much contention at all. You could almost see some kind of proxy build base being built up here to push through down there. But potentially that was already thought about or tried and didn't work. Looks like Zeo got his first ASF out on the field. Let's see how Dead is doing. He's still working to get T3 power gen up, so he does not have any ASF or spy planes in the field at the moment. However, he is getting some scouting from Failure, who's doing a fine job. Let's check on Eco. Zeo is looking at about 117, 120, somewhere around there. By far the highest Eco out of everyone right now. Oh, looks like there is a push is finally happening on the south side, the east side of the map. Looks like Donko has sent a sizable amount of units this way to help prevent that from happening. Interceptors circling overhead to make sure there's no snipes going on or any kind of air assistance. Looks like Zeo does have some T2 Rhinos on the field as well as T3 air, so he's doing a very good job at balancing everything right now. And actually, it looks like Zeo's been pumping out those ASS without the help of a T3 P-Gen, so I'm sure he was e-stalling crazy to do that. But at least it gives him protection from running strats, which I'm sure was Dead 6's original plan. Looks like Dead does still have some Voltus left, but I don't know if that's going to be able to do anything with the ASF presence on the field. The push was fairly successful. I mean, I wouldn't say it's successful. They probably left more mass there than what they actually took out mech-wise. And I believe these are all T1 mexes and a Hydro, so I don't think that was really worth it. He probably should have scouted that a little more and saw that he wasn't going to be able to take that. And probably should have also put more Zooey's artillery in his army as well to take care of the buildings. Because there's no way Mantis would shoot in those buildings in time when there's all this land support behind it. Looks like we're starting to get some mobile missile launches, some Vipers, which everyone knows how lethal Vipers are. Unless you have an absolutely insane amount of TNT, which does look like Mali's throwing up in a quick hurry. So that can snowball out of control if you're not careful about that. Looks like Zale might have forgotten some of his rhinos up front. They're getting plinked away at by mobile missiles, or potentially the hoplites. Yeah, it looks like mobile missiles mostly. Oh, it looks like Donko is trying to do a quick little push through that gap I had mentioned earlier. That could spell a little bit of trouble for Dead 6's land HQ that he sent so far forward. I don't even blame him. I wouldn't have seen that coming either. It looks like Nukola has noticed, and he's sending his T1 mobile light artillery over to deal with it if he can. But that's going to be kind of tough considering there's more. We have at least an Ilsheva and a few light things in this group, whereas that's all our light artillery. So as long as he micros well, he should be able to take care of all of that. Bigger problem coming from the bolters. That might just wipe out all of that land for us. Still just 3 Vipers over here, so I'm not sure if he switched up to a different project. Dead 6 was able to get a few ASF out now. Looks like 3 ASF to Zayo's, how many? 3 at the moment. Does have a couple spy planes circling around the map. Let's see where the comms are at. We have Zale in the back, Donko is in his front fire base, and I assume Mali is as well. Red is another big push over here. I'll get back to that in a second. Got a mix of rhinos and hoplites coming from Zale, and another force of rhinos and hoplites. There was a couple of two tickle cannons there, but it doesn't really look like it's going to go back to land force. But we can consider a lot of reinforcements coming here. I don't think it's land force. It does work to kind of relieve some pressure that Baylor was putting on Zale up here, though, which is really what he needs to be able to keep that turtle down and secure. He's done a great job at filling up this gap that we're getting T2 so. Looks like Zale is going to actually try to make a push on that base, maybe potentially get rid of the shield jam. Does he have anything to kill him with the shield jam? Doesn't really look like it. So that land force did get annihilated. We should have enough to get the whole counter push that comes. Maybe not, but as long as it looks like it, right? Okay, so red is in his base. Deep 6 is also where's Deep 6 on this? Oh, he's in that front fire base again. Oh, he's really far forward from the airplay right now. Does he even have TNT there? They know him better than me. Doesn't really look like there's anything going on in the middle. Kind of a no man's land. You would think that there might be some pushes coming through the middle from either side. But potentially that might have gotten shut down by just a few T2 PD in the middle. It's actually quite a small map. I think it's a 10 by 10. 4v4, I mean, I guess that's pretty normal, but I feel like you could put some T2 artillery right there on this ledge and really wreak some havoc with that. Looks like Zale's getting some T3 units out. He has T3 air, of course, but he can also... Oh, okay, I'm sorry, I thought that was T3 land. He's not having to do that yet. Pierce Baylor is really trying to get these T2 PD up, so PD creep closer and closer to Zale's forward operating base there. Still just a large turtle going on over here. I really feel like that amount of units could do some damage over there. You might as well send them in and see if they're able to knock out some shields. The rest of your cannons and whatnot, mobile missiles, artillery, whatever, take up the rest of the base. Looks like Dead Dead 6 actually moved his comp farther forward to help him farther forward while pushing Zeo. I don't know. It's a little bit risky. There's quite a bit of T2 unit presence from Zeo right there. Spy plane getting blapped by a bunch of interceptors that might chase it all the way into death. Can't say they're not determined. Okay, they get to survive today. Cheeky little run by here, potentially. Looks like Zeo has responded, seen it. I'm sure he's very concentrated on about 100 different things at once. Donko asking for an NG, potentially trying to get some UEF technology, maybe get some Ravagers up. What we got going on here? Looks like a nice little artillery battery, got a bit of, what do you call it? Proximity bonus? My mind's going a little blank at the moment. Adjacency bonus, that's what it is. Malley's pumping out a strategic bomber, okay. I believe it's his first strategic bomber of the game for both Zeo and Dead 6. Looks like Zeo has some Corsairs out. Looks like 7 of them right now. I'm not sure if he's going to try to do a Corsairs neck at some point. Some successful artillery hits coming in here. Looks like Mukola's and Dead 6's little fire-based turtle operation over here is not going as well as they had planned. That is a very beefy looking line right there compared to this. I really feel like you could send your units through there and annihilate that. Looks like Failure's getting into the T3 air game as well. Breaking out some T3 factories. Has 5 ASF to assist Dead 6s, which I believe will bring up over the amount of numbers over the amount of ASF that Zeo has. Oh, and almost missed an air snipe on Dead 6. Looks like the shield did not go all the way down. Zeo is going to be engaging with ASF, kill most of Failure's ASFs. But that is probably going to wipe out Zeo's air. Pretty good micro with Zeo. It's 4 of them. Looks like a decent win for Team 2 Coast. Looks like this fire base was given over to Donko. Probably too much going on for Zeo to deal with air and land at the same time. This is looking a little bit rough. Land push. This had 2-3 bricks in the building. Land HP right up front there. Potentially vulnerable to tax next. I think there's enough life inside the shields for TD. Eco is looking like Failure's actually doing very well on Eco. So is Malley over the top. Zeo's looking at 188. Donko 150 to 160. Dead 6 157. Mukola sitting at just 83 mass per tick. Probably sinking a lot of his resources into trying to keep this front area successful. Doesn't look like it's working too well. What's he up to? And his T3 land working on getting this Eco game back on par with everyone else. But he still does have massive characteristics. You always want to upgrade your massive characteristics if all possible. It's just more efficient. Looks like Donko's doing a pretty admirable job pulling back wave on T1, T2 units. Failure. Bricks certainly help quite a bit. Most of the damage of this T2 series do not do anything to stop T2 units. Unless you have a mass quantity of them. Zeo's starting to pump up quite a few ASF. I'm sure he realizes that he needs to completely focus on that since Dead 6 and Failure are both in the air game. Dead 6 upgrading probably should have done that before this point. Strat coming in to help is important. Gives us some of those T2 units. Dale sees the Strat, comes into his ASFs. Left a few at his base though. Getting slightly better. I believe the Strat's going for the shot and they will be destroyed by Zale's ASF. Looks like Dead 6 is fully aware of that. Dale once again looking fairly strong. Donko looking fairly strong in this front line. Looks like he kind of stopped messing with this side, knowing that Maui appears to have it under control. That is a significant ramp right now. 3 bricks down to fire. That is a lot of shooting. They are just sitting there getting destroyed. I don't think that's going to get all the way to the base, but it's definitely going to get some access to the point. Zeta circles overhead with ASFs. No response from Dead 6 for a failure so far with that. Sending a couple mongoose this way, potentially get rid of that X there. Not sure if they're going to choose the rest of the 2 units are retreating as suspected. However, that did leave quite the mass field, about 7,000, 8,000 mass, well within range of Kula's reclaim engineers, which does not appear that he has very many reclaim engineers. Doesn't look like there's any nukes or anything being put up at the moment. Failures really getting into their game. 1, 2, 3, going on 4, excuse me, 5, going on 5 T3 air factories. Really concerned about Zao getting some air snipes out. The tactical missile launchers I see, or is that T3 artillery? Oh, that's artillery. T2 artillery actually. Dead 6 starting T3 on his comm, which I believe is still up front. He's there for T3. Kind of a stalemate on either side right now. I would imagine we're going to start transitioning to an experimental phase. Everyone's above 250 economy, basically, with the exception of Nicola, who we saw ecoing just a short time ago. Only 68,000 score compared to everyone else being almost 100, well, at least 130,000 above. A little bit behind, but he's still doing an admirable job holding back 2 players at the same time. Looks like Donko is asking for mass. I wonder if he is creating anything spicy. It looked like it. Finally transitioning to T3 land himself, just calm in the back. Corsairs just laying around the field. Really kind of a stalemate still going on. Looks like a couple of mexes have not been taken, or at least blocked out of existence by mobile artillery or T3 units. Dead 6 is starting to accrue a fair amount of strats, up to 3 at the time. If he got him by without being noticed, he could actually kill, well, almost kill someone. If he's got a 4th. He does now have a 4th strat. He could kill someone right now with that. Of course, he would have to get past all of this ASF. Not to mention Dead 6 is also Seraphim, which means he does not have stealth, or is it cloaking on the ASFs? Not stealth on the ASF. So that is a concern. Forward to seeing what he does with the strats. Colo's getting some hives up. I don't know, maybe potentially to help him with building a monkey or something along those lines to help try to push through that. I imagine that would be the main reason he's has an extra factory, which he really doesn't. So just pumping up the strats from Dead 6. Doesn't look like Zao has any strats in the field, so does the Corsairs. A lot of ASF though. That might actually be plenty of ASFs to wipe out both Failures and Dead 6's ASF production. Or not production, excuse me. I guess the totality of their air units. Oh, did not see that coming. Fat Boy from Mali. That is going to be a problem for Mikula. I don't think he really has an answer for just a bunch of Meduses and a few bricks that are kind of getting pushed away by the Fat Boy or the word a second ago. Although they do have the strats from Dead 6. Looks like Dunker's actually doing a very good job of pushing into this fire base. Although it does look like there's T3 mobile missile launchers. Oh, big airfight over Failur's base. Zale, Failur, and Dead 6 all engulfed and all out in war. Looks like most of Dead 6's ASFs are gone. Zale doing a very good job at fighting the ASFs. Donko actually appears to have some ASFs himself. That might just tip the scales in favor of Team 1. Fairly close. Looks like they're going to withdraw with ASFs on both sides. However, if you look at Zale's ASF reduction, it's way above and beyond what Failur and Dead 6 are doing. Fat Boy slowly pushing into Mikula's base. He does have some T2 artillery thing trying to hold back to Fat Boy, but it might be a case of too little too late. Failur's starting to get on some whalers, T3 gunships. 7 strats, 8 strats to Dead 6's names. A couple more T3 whalers up front as well, actually waiting for some kind of experimental push. Fat Boy's shields at about 50%, getting hammered away by the artillery. However, the shield is gone. Turbo to artillery and IMG shield just hanging on to Fat Boy. Does appear to be gone now. Looks like Dead 6 is sending some strats out. Zale ended up seeing it. Probably was able to stop that time for the Fat Boy gets strats. Additional 2 coming back. Zale did not get all the strats. Fat Boy is dead, saving Mikula. I'm sure he's grateful. However, that was 8 strats that just disappeared. There's a lot of time invested from Dead 6 getting those out. I'm sure he'd be sad to see this go. Looks like Dead 6 has some T2 Milshivas. Taking care of what we have here. The satellite from Mali pumping on experimentals very quickly. I'm sure that's going to go straight to the air flare. Monkey being made by Donko in the back of his own fire base. Zale getting quite the air facility, air production lineup. Donko's upgrade right now. It's not going T3 comm. Quite a hole here where Mikula's front base was. I almost feel like you could push through with just units alone. No experimental needed. Zale is by far ahead in the ASF game right now with a total of 96 ASF compared to just 3 ASF from Dead 6 and 39 from Failur. It's about 50 ASF more than Team 2 at the moment. It looks like he's going to send those in to wipe out the whalers potentially. It's not looking like Failur's aware of that. Probably didn't expect him to push his ASF right into his base again. Donko coming to assist with his ASF of his own. Quite a significant numbers advantage on Team 1. Strats going north while they're distracted with the fight in the south. Whether he's going to go for probably Mali, he's right up front. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strats coming in. I don't think that would be enough. It is a T3 generator, which is 3F. Does not look like it's enough. Bring the shield almost down to the collapsing point, but not enough to actually do anything. Starting to get significant long-range weaponry up in this base from Failur and Dead 6. Gonna be a real struggle for not to hold on to this area up here, I think, at this point. How's that spider coming along? Almost done. Let's see if 50% done for the spider. Megalith being constructed with a few hives from Zeo, as well as an SMD in the back. Loaded already. He don't see any nuke launches from anyone though. Megalith also being constructed by Thaler in his base. Hive's working on it as well, going in pretty quickly. Kola does not have, oh, he does have a Megalith going to the south, but I don't think he's going to have enough time, honestly. Maybe not. It doesn't look like they're pushing. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on that. T3 Mobile already devastating Doctor's army in the front. However, he does have a spider to deal with this push coming in right now. Let's see if Failer's aware of that spider. He is not aware of the spider at the moment, so that could be a devastating loss if he pushes his army into that right away. Megalith completed by Zale. Looks like he's immediately starting on another one, going up very rapidly. Eco is doing very good, right below Failer, who's over 500 already, which is very good. But he does have 2 bases worth of economy, and some T2 mass extractors still left, which can't complain with the results. That satellite looks like it's been blinking away at Dead 6's frontline base. Probably makes it easier for them to push through this area right here where they walled off quite extensively, actually, now that I'm looking at that. Monkey's just sitting on the side, probably waiting for the Megalith to get up close. That Megalith should be able to push right through that base. I don't think they've really got an answer for it. How far into that other Megalith that I saw? What was that? Ah, it's already complete. Walking into the front line. Duncan's putting some pressure on this frontline army. Trebuchets, risk of being all destroyed by the bricks, not really good placement for him. Can't really get up and move quickly because they braces on the side. Looks like the bricks are mainly. Oh wow! How does Megalith take so much damage? Megalith is at 20% HP. Ah, that would be why. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 attack missiles obviously hit the Megalith, did a significant amount of damage. Going in for the Megalith being constructed, did a very small amount of damage. Okay. Interesting. I wonder if they do less damage to non-constructed units, maybe. I'll have to look at that. Megalith pushing up from Thaler. I don't really think they have an answer for that. The Megalith can go toe-to-toe with that if it's full HP, but it's not. We do have the monkey, of course, but this can flap away at that monkey and take care of that no problem. Looks like the Megalith has decided to go mano-a-mano. Quite a significant amount of damage, about 3k damage per shot. Monkey's trying to get behind that Megalith. I don't think this Megalith has noticed it yet. Bailey just saw it. He's walking in front of it. Monkey's just gotten behind the Megalith, and that's just the Megalith. Looks like he's just content walking the Megalith straight toward Donko's front fire base. Okay, well that monkey will now allow Donko to keep holding onto that section while this T3 land force pushes in. He does not have enough T3 units to take care of that. Most of them are bouncing on it. We do have 8 whalers coming in to take care of the monkey. Looks like a Strat is also assisting with the land push, but I imagine that just died off to all that bouncer and whaler fire. Oh, still alive with 400 HP. It's going to drop the bomb. Take care of a few T2 units, it looks like. On the north side of the map, we have a bit of a tight push from Mali, but I don't think that's going to get anywhere since his Megalith that we talked about earlier just completed. It's going to be able to easily take care of all those Titans there and actually put a significant risk on Mali on his front fire base. Don't think they have much for T2 placements. But they do have some Ravagers, but not very many. 1 to 2. 2 Ravagers to take care of a Megalith will not be enough. There is some artillery as well, but I still don't feel like that would be enough. Melly now has 2 satellites up and running. It has been bothering Baylor, it looks like, doing a significant amount of damage to his base. I'm sure he's not happy about that. He does have a few sub-commanders out. Sackies. Quickly working on putting up shields and a P-gen. It could be a death sentence for him if he doesn't get more shields up in a very quick amount of time. He does have the hive, so that should help him quite a bit. There's a lot of eco to work with. Looks like Wakula is still the lowest amount of mass at 223, but he has been dealing with quite a lot on his front lines this entire time. If he's not careful, it's going to get surrounded. This Megalith is going to get surrounded by Titans and other T1 units. It is quite vulnerable to T1 units if they get close enough. He does have a decent amount of bricks following up to take care of it. Looks like Melly's answer to this is to throw up a bunch of Ravagers, which do actually outrange the Megalith by a very small amount. Significant air battle over the middle. Looks like Zeo, unsurprisingly, is going to win that with his large amount of ASF. I imagine he's well over 100 by now. 148 ASF compared to probably about 20 with that 6. Maybe another 30 or 40. Baylor has a sweeping amount of Sackies up. He's able to get shields up to the base, it looks like. Any nukes or anything like that going on? No. But Megalith is looking for side, pushing their way to maybe a desperation move that one breaks the people to make sure helping us with Ravagers are outraging that quite a lot of damage. A couple strats coming in from Zeo, the help is take care of this system. Send that to drop the bomb. Dunker really has nothing to prevent a large land push over here, but then again, Baylor and Dead 6 don't really have that many land units to push with at the moment. I lied, never mind. There's a Megalith constructed by Zeo and a Monkey Lord as well there. Megalith at about half HP has another Monkey Lord coming out to assist it. There's a chicken on the field from Donko to help defend that northern proxy base. Excuse me, not proxy base. Forward base. Quite a significant amount of strats from Zeo. So it looks like they're doing a run to probably try to hit red, or Rakula. Monkey Lord going around the sides of Donko's defenses as the Megalith flanks away the shields to take care of that. I would be worried about the Ravagers. If he stays about that distance, he should be okay, I believe. That might pose a significant threat if he goes... Really, the only way I can see this doing anything is just going up to the staff over here. Since there is that chicken defending. Unless that Megalith is going to support. Looks like the Monkey Lord is being sent to try to deal with that front line base. I don't think that's going to go well for this sheer amount of Ravagers map, but it doesn't look like they see it yet, just because of the cloaking on the stealth on the planner. He's annihilated by Ravagers. That is why you don't send Monkey Lord forward bases. Significant amount of strats being sent to the northwestern corner. Looks like they are starting to make their run. It has to be on Makula. Don't see any response from Team 2. This will most definitely be the end. He is gone. That's going to leave this entire northern side open to Team 1 to push their chicken through. Looks like the Megalith is going to die just from his comm dying, but I believe it will die from the artillery fire. Wakulo was starting to construct the nuke silo, which I was not aware of. That could have caused problems if that was left alive. Might have been the why Zeo decided to kill Makolo first. Satellites pointing away at mass extractors and whatever else they can find. Obviously, they were not able to get through these heavily shielded bases. potentially work on getting rid of some of the sands, but I guess it's not an issue when you have overwhelming air superiority. You have some Othams and lightning tanks on the northern side to help stop that gap up there, but I don't think that would be enough if Chicken is sent through. It looks like Chicken is actually being sent through the middle section toward this front operating base over here. Megalith and Monkey and Satellites all attacking at the same time in a coordinated strike. Instead 610 is calm one of there. It doesn't look like there's anything off there, actually. Baylor's commander is back in his main base, very close to the action still though. He's shielded by shield generators. Second is getting destroyed. Trying to put it significant amount of strats being built in that tail. I don't think that scat is going to be complete by the time that these experiments are up. Looks like the air has once again been won by Zale. Strats coming in, I presume, for Taylor. And that might just end this game. Satellites, Megalith, Monkey Lord, Dead System game. Very good game from all sides. Massive amount of strats and ASS being made by Zao. I just thought it was a very interesting game and I wanted to share it with you guys. Let me know if you would like me to do it in a different way next time. But I hope you guys appreciated the stream. Thank you. Bye.